Hi, my name is Jasmine O from Nobody Like Me. I'm here to talk to you today about accepting your body just the way it is. And I know for a lot of women, accepting our bodies just the way we are is sometimes a big challenge. And we're criticizing ourselves, we're wanting to change parts of ourselves, we're comparing ourselves, and this is really detrimental to our physical and mental health. And we are all unique and beautiful. We all have something offer. We all have unique talents and gifts. And today I'm going to share with you 6 steps that you can take to accepting your body just the way it is. And I know sometimes we feel like we can hate on a part of our bodies and we love a certain part of our bodies, or we get fixated on one part of the body that we don't like and we want to change it. And there's no right or wrong way about the way we feel about our bodies, but there's definitely some things that we can do to help encourage us to appreciate our bodies a little bit more. So today I'm going to talk to you about the 6 steps, and number 1 is respecting your body. Respecting your body is the number 1 step that you have to take to really starting to love your body. And we can do some daily practices. We can change the language that we're speaking to ourselves. We can understand that fueling our bodies is the way that we can show ourselves love, and what we're putting into ourselves and what we're nourishing ourselves with, what our daily practices are. If you're waking up and doing some meditation and yoga, this can really help with, calming our nervous system. It can really help with, creating more peace in the mind. So respecting our bodies is different for everybody, and you can really understand what respecting your body means to you. But think about the way you want to walk, the way you want to talk, the way you want to feel in your everyday life, and then you can really start to define what respecting your body really means to you. And when we show more respect to ourselves, this, then shows up in more areas of our lives, because we are really embodying that part of ourselves where we're really honoring the person that we are. So number 1 is respect. Number 2 is focusing on feeling great and being balanced. And this can be switching our external focus to the internal, which is focusing on how you feel. We want to be vibrating at a high frequency. That's what we want to be doing with ourselves. So again, it's like, what makes you feel good? What are the things that really light you up? For me, I know that dancing, music, being creative, that's the things that really make me feel good. Meditation and yoga is another thing that really helps with me being centered. But really focusing on the way we feel instead of what we look like can really help us to create harmony and a sense of self. I think we can really focus so much on what we look like, and it really takes away the focus of how we really want to feel, because we get stuck in the external world, and really it's about what comes from within. Number 3 is stop worrying about your weight. And I know that this is such a hard one for so many women, but I highly recommend throwing away the scales. A lot of our power over the mind comes in from, worrying about this number on the scales. And again, if you're focusing on what makes you feel good instead of focusing on this number that, definitely fluctuates through, what we're going through in that month, whether we drink more water, whether that week we've eaten a little bit more or we've eaten a little bit less, and it can fluctuate very much. And so if we're fixated on this idea of this number on the scale, it can cause a lot of stress and anxiety, and it can also become quite an obsessive process. So don't let your weight define you. Don't let it, define who you are as a person. If you do lose weight, you can celebrate and be like, all right, I lost some weight today. That's great. But coming off the fixation of it will really create a lot of ease and a lot of peace, you know, because I know that when I was fixated on the scales, I'd get on every day and think, oh, I've gone up a little bit, I've gone down a little bit, and it really starts to take a toll on my mental mind, and there's so many other beautiful things we can focus on instead of worrying about our weight. Number 4 is looking at what your body can do. We are so talented in so many ways. We have a gift of having this vessel that gets us from, you know, doing all of the beautiful things that we love. And this takes practice. You know, we can often look at all of the things, you know, when we look at our stretch marks from having a baby, or, you know, we're you know, not happy about you know, certain parts of ourselves, and we can think, oh, I wish I wanted to change that, or, you know, I hate my stretch marks. But really, you can look at those stretch marks and think, wow, like my body had a baby, or, you know, my legs allow me to run and to walk every day, or, you know, I don't like my arms. Okay, like what does my arms allow me to do? And I think really focusing on the wonderful things and the talents and the strengths that we have, and taking away this focus on what we're looking like. So really focusing on, you know, the beautiful things that our bodies can do. They help us move, they help us be alive, be vibrant, doing all these beautiful things that we can do. So that's looking at what your body can do. Number 5 is changing the conversation. Changing the conversation with ourselves, number 1, but also changing the conversation with the people that are around us. If we're surrounded by people that, you know, bring us down, that aren't supportive of, you know, what we're doing, this can really start to, you know, affect the way we feel about ourselves. You know, I know that I used to get together with girlfriends, and we used to be like, oh, I don't like this about my body, and then my friend would say, yeah, I don't like that about myself either, and it would really start to get in this kind of cycle of we'd come together and we'd just talk about this subject, and we'd compare ourselves. And really noticing those thoughts and noticing where that conversation is going, and then being able to be like, all right, I see that that's coming up. Like, let's try and see if we can change the conversation into something more positive. And also changing the conversation that we're having with ourselves. Our thoughts can be so detrimental to us, you know, and really noticing those thoughts as they come up and being like, okay, I noticed that thought, thank you, but I'm not going to listen, and I'm going to replace it with something that makes me feel good. Number 6 is practice positive affirmations and kind words. And sometimes this can be a bit challenging, you know, we're noticing these thoughts that are coming in our minds, and subconsciously we just let them come in. And actually these thoughts are running our lives, you know, they're really being able to take over the direction that we take. And practicing positive, kind words to ourselves, noticing the language that we're using, and really changing that conversation. And it's really important that even if we don't necessarily believe it, using those words over and over again, we will slowly just start to use those words more. And the more we, you know, practice something, the more it becomes a part of us. So really practicing those words, waking up in the morning, doing those meditations or those affirmations, writing out those positive mantras that make us feel good, and really embodying that, and slowly but surely your language will just change over time because you're practicing those positive words and that real positive way that we want to think. And it's not easy. Sometimes they're going to come in subconsciously and we're not going to know. But as long as you can become aware, you can notice that they're coming up, and then you can be like, okay, thank you, I recognize you, and I am going to let you go. I really hope this has helped you to create some more healthy habits for yourself, to be able to change the way you view your body and really love yourself just the way you are. Give yourselves a big hug, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.